What's up guys, it's me, Steve WB, and today on my channel we are talking about the DJI Osmo Pocket Cinematic Luts. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a small little clip of a video that I shot yesterday that was shot in the cinelike setting. I'm going to drop that into Adobe Premiere Pro CC, and we're going to make some changes to that and see how cinematic we can make that look, and to show you the benefit of shooting in a flat profile and color grading your own stuff. Now, with all that being said, I'm no expert by any means, and I'm learning as I go, but I'm more than happy to share what I know with you as I learn. And if there's something else that you see in this video that you're curious about or want to know, just drop a comment below and let me know. Okay, so as you can see, I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro 2020. I've used Adobe now for the last 2 years, 3 years. It's got some pretty cool presets that I like to use. I mean, it's really just basic. I haven't added on or do anything to the program. I just kind of use it out of the box. The stuff that I'm going to show you, it's not going to take very long because I'm not an expert by any means on how to color grade footage or color grade your videos. I'm just going to show you how I do it to give you an idea of what you can do, because color grading is kind of like the way they like to do it and the look that they like to see. You know, what I think looks good, you think looks bad, or vice versa. You know, it's all about expressing yourself and expressing, you know, or sharing your videos and sharing your vision with people. So with that being said, is as you can see over here in the browser, I have a clip, and this is a clip from yesterday's video. I'm going to drag this over to the timeline and just drop it in, and this video is in the cinelike profile from the Osmo Pocket. You can see as this plays how flat everything looks. It's a good quality picture, but it's not very colorful or not very bright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove this part of the clip too. We're just going to keep the very beginning of it, just for demonstration purposes. The first thing that I do is, if you look over here, this is where all your effect settings and all that stuff is. And the one I use is called Lumetri Color. And then you have different tabs. You have Creative and Basic Correction. Now, first I start off on the Basic Correction, and it has your LUTs right here. This is where you see it says Input LUT. And so what these are like default LUTs to give you different looks on this video. And I'm going to try every one of them for you real quick just to see. And this is the first one right here. It's called Alexa Default Log C2 Rec 709. I'm not going to call these out. You can see on the screen what they are, but this is the first one. And just by adding that LUT, you can see how much color came in and how different it looks, how the profile's completely changed. So the first step is finding the right look that you want. That one's a little brighter. That one looks a lot like the first one. Not a big difference. That one looks way lighter. A little darker, a little more faded, way more faded. But you can see that these give different effects. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one right here, which is the very first one. And that's just the first step that I do for color grading my Osmo Pocket footage. Now, the second step is I'm going to leave Basic Correction. I'm going to go to Creative. And if you look up here, they have what they call look, creative look. And these are also presets of color profiles that will change the way this looks. And like this is called Cinespace, which is like a real like cinematic look, but it's just kind of overdone if you ask me. It's almost like a Quentin Tarantino film or something. But as you go through, they have different ones that give you different looks with like this one's called Day for Night, if you want daytime to look like nighttime. You know, they just have different, it's just basically a bunch of different color settings. I tend to have a lot of luck with this one right here whenever I'm doing the Osmo Pocket, called SL Neutral Start. And as you can see, it just kind of makes a nice look. Like if I take it off, you can see how it's a little more faded out. But then if I add that, how it just darkens it a little bit, it brings a lot more color in. That's the one I normally use. If it's a lot of blue in the picture, you know, you can use different colors to give different effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this back to neutral start. And as you can see, it brought in a lot of color and more tones. And you can see how dark this is. You know, at that point I would go back to Basic Correction, and you can change your exposure level here. So I can brighten it or dim it as much as I want to. As you can see, as I brighten it here, the water looks really good, but then you start to overexpose here. And then that's when you can grab like your highlights or your whites right here on this little sidebar and reduce those just to give it your, you know, just to take out some of that overexposed look. And one of my favorites is contrast. For some reason, I just like a high contrast picture. And then we'll see how this looks. So as you can see, that looks a lot better than where we started. And like I said, I'm no professional with this by any means. Go ahead and set this up side by side real quick. But you can see what we started with. This was the cinelike profile and how it came off of the Osmo Pocket. And then on the right here is after the color grading. And you can tell that it's quite a drastic difference. And you're probably wondering, like, what's the benefit of actually color grading your own footage? And from what I understand and why I try to do it is it gives you more of a dynamic range. And that basically means when you shoot in a flat profile like this, you collect a lot more information about the setting in your picture and the depth of objects. You get a more detailed picture overall. And just a quick cinematic, I'm going to call it a quick cinematic tip if you want to make your stuff look more cinematic. So I'm going to grab the crop. I'm going to drop a crop in here. And the recommended crop, I guess, for a cinematic effect is around 12%, 13%. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add the old 12%. There, I cut 12% off the top and 12% off the bottom because in theater you're used to this wider view, and with the black bars on top it gives you that effect. And you can see how the video is different now. And then the only thing that you could do to, I guess, to make it a little more cinematic, add a zoom to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and reset this to the default. So now you can see without the other video next to it. And just to give it a little more feel of like going away or leaving, I'm going to add a zoom to it, and we'll come back to it and we'll watch the video one more time. So now we've added the zoom effect and the black bars top and bottom and color graded our own footage, and this is what you're going to end up with. Pretty cool. And this was all shot in 60 frames per second. As you can tell, you can actually see the droplets of water flying through the air. I'm going to try to make this big one more time. By no means am I an expert at this. I'm still learning every day. This is what I want to do, so this is what I'm doing. And I'm glad to share things as I learn them with you guys. Well, there you go. My little short, probably 10-second clip of an outboard motor. And, you know, what did you think about the colors that we added? Were they too strong? Was there too much contrast? Did you think that we made it look cinematic? And do you think the zoom effect helped? It's you know, it's a fun little tutorial, and like I said, I'm no professional at this whatsoever, but I'm always glad to try to learn and share things as I learn. And I hope this helps you out. And it probably raised more questions than answers it gave you, but the point of this video was more to show you how I do it. And if you need a more in-depth, like step-by-step on how to do something, just let me know and I'll be glad to make more videos for you. So with that being said, I'm Steve WB and I'm out.